This episode of Android Q&A is brought to you by Hipchat. So you guys remember this Ubuntu. It's an alternative mobile operating system that launched over 2 years ago with lots of promise and fanfare. But they didn't just launch a new phone this week. It's what's on that phone that could begin a systemic shift in how you and I interact with our phones. Now first, let's just start with the phone. Now the first Ubuntu phone will be a repurposed Aquarius E4.5, the low-budget BQ handset which usually runs Android. The Aquarius E4.5 Ubuntu edition has a 4.5-inch display with a 540x960 resolution, a 1.3 GHz quad-core MediaTek A7 processor, 1 GB of RAM, and a Mali 400 GPU. The phone also has 8 GB of internal storage, a 2150 mAh battery, an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera, and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. And right now there is no LTE support. Now, although the phone is selling for the somewhat attractive price of $195 US, it will only be sold in Europe. But Canonical has assured us that they will have, quote, a US device strategy. But that's not the most important thing. Now, for the past week, we've talked about how difficult it's going to be for any alternative mobile operating system to compete with Android or iOS because they just don't have the juice to build an app ecosystem to compete. I mean, who would possibly have that? So, Ubuntu is going to change the rules of the game. And they've started with a new UI paradigm, and they call it Scopes. Scopes, which is a new UI paradigm designed to deliver content and services directly to your home screen, giving users a rich, unfragmented experience. Scopes will give you categorized home screens that will pull content from multiple sources. This means you will get content from YouTube, Vimeo, and your own recorded media all on the same page, as well as music, news, and other multiple page types sent directly to each home screen. The phone supports mainstream HTML5 beautifully, and as Canonical claims, will not be just another Android or iOS clone. Now I know what some of you may be thinking, sounds interesting, but it also sounds like a cluttered experience. And that may be so. It's too early to tell whether Scopes would work, but it does sound interesting. But here's the important part. Scopes and the idea behind Scopes opens up the possibility of beginning non-native apps. What are non-native apps? You see, native apps are apps that you have to get through a Play Store or the iOS App Store. Now, the exception is sideloaded apps, but we talked about before you shouldn't be doing that for security purposes. But Google and Apple are the middlemen. They control the app distribution. So we call those apps native apps. A non-native app is an app that you can go to through the web browser on your phone and use it directly. Now that's not very popular right now because web browsers kind of suck and non-native apps are just in their absolute infancy. But it could potentially have big changes. Just look at history. Remember 15 years ago, we didn't download our apps. You had to buy them on a CD-ROM and manually install them until web apps came out and they quickly dominated desktop apps. We expect a similar thing to happen in the mobile device industry. But there are some stumbling blocks. Here is why it is so important for you and me. Let's use YouTube as an example. YouTube is the middleman between you and me. I'm the content producer or publisher, you're the consumer. YouTube controls that relationship. They don't let us email you directly, text you, send you snail mail. That's what every business needs to have a direct relationship with their consumer or customer. Now you may be saying, Jayce, I don't want you to email me or text me or anything like that. And that's fine. This would be for people who opt into it. But consider how many businesses that you cherish, that you have opted in for, have your phone number, your address, or your email or something like that. You want to connect with them because they provide value. And so they're able to maintain that relationship. Right now, YouTube, the Google Play Store, iOS, all these platforms are the middlemen, and they take a massive chunk for controlling the relationship. A non-native app removes the middleman. It allows you and me to connect directly, and we control the relationship, not a middleman. This means that we are able to make more money from our content, therefore providing more premium content, hire better quality people, better gear, better preparation, all that kind of stuff. I don't have to do this out of my living room kind of thing. And you get to consume more premium content and have choices, and probably get a lot of content that's cheaper because we're not giving off 30 to 50% of our ad revenue. See what I mean? Massive, massive game changer. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you guys ever tried to collaborate with a large group of people online to get a job or project done? It's pretty difficult. That's why you want the right tools to do the job. Hipchat is an instant messaging, video chat, document sharing, screen sharing, and system updates and code sharing all integrated into one simple platform. Email's too slow and meetings get sidetracked. Now there's a freemium version which you can use for free forever, but for the next 30 days you'll get the full version of Hipchat, which includes the bonus features of video and screen sharing. You can try Hipchat free, no credit card required, if you go to hipchat.com/Android Authority. Sign up by clicking start and chat, and then invite team members and try it free for 30 days. And for the first 100 signups, Hipchat is going to extend their 30-day free trial to 90 days. Hipchat, your team, your project in sync instantly. Now I gotta give credit to my Android brother Jimmy Westenberg, who wrote the article that today's show is based on. You want to follow him at androidauthority.com for all his good work. You can also follow him on Twitterverse at Jimmy Westenberg or here on Google+. Now guys, I wanted to clear a problem up because yesterday I did the Nexus 6, how to fix its common problems, and I think some of you got the impression that the phone has all these problems, or most people have these problems with the Nexus 6, and that's just not true. We're just trying to solve some of the technical problems that some people have with their Nexus 6, but lots of people love the phone. It's a very premium phone, great for you if you love really large phablets. I just wanted to clear that up. Please put your comments and questions in the comments below. I will be sure to read them. You don't want to forget about my brothers in Android, Josh, Joe, and the Tech Ninja, Kevin, Lonnie, Chris, Gary, Nash, and Taylor, all working real hard to deliver the very best Android content on the web. I shall see you tomorrow on Android Weekly.